Welcome. Welcome everyone to Final Fantasy 2? Okay, this is a bit confusing. Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the NES were never released in America, so Final Fantasy 4 here was called 2 in the States. Actually, that's not as confusing as I thought it would be, or as most people make it out to be, but here we have a familiar tune, the title screen. And we're actually on the Super Nintendo now, we're 16-bit, and you know, I think it's about time this theme got a bit of an upgrade. Oh man. This theme sends chills down my spine. The nostalgia I have for that original NES theme that played in the title crawl, just given this beautiful rendition with a new chorus and everything. This is a Super Nintendo game, no more of that NES stuff, and boy, this game is not afraid to show it in both its music, its graphics, and its storytelling. This is the earliest game I can think of that has real story to it. There's long bits of dialogue and animation kind of cutscenes. Okay, not Ninja Gaiden style cutscenes, that was a revolutionary game in itself. But full-on scenes of characters just talking to one another, acting out like a play. No other Final Fantasy was quite like this, and the gaming world would never be the same after this game. So, let's begin. We already start out with quite the epic piece of music as we see this army of airships flying by. I'm not controlling anything here. Again, this is like the first time in gaming we have a scene playing out like this, just for our entertainment. Captain Cecil, we're about to arrive! Oh, hold on, I need to give voices to all the characters. What am I gonna give Cecil's voice? Good. Why are we robbing crystals from innocent people? That's our duty. Do you really have to keep doing this? And here we have a flashback to what had happened. Give us the crystal of water! What have we done? The crystal or your life? Never! Then we shall take the crystal by force. Ah! No! Don't! Dare to defy us? Ah! Good lord. Alright, take the crystal. Should have said so earlier. And Cecil goes up and grabs the crystal. As he leaves. Why is the King of Baron doing this? Why do you pursue the crystal so eagerly? Cecil says not a word, but he does hang his head as he leaves. We take pride in being members of the Red Wings. Looting is out of the question. Stop it! Captain, we can't stand doing this anymore. Listen, possessing the crystal is an essential factor for our prosperity. Moreover, His Majesty judged that Massidians know too much about the secret of the crystal. We are the Red Wings, the Air Force of the Kingdom of Baron. The royal command is absolute. Captain, monsters! Take up fighting positions. And using a firebomb, Cecil makes quick work of those monsters. You okay? More coming! Watch out! Cecil uses some kind of lightning bolt to defeat this raven. Everyone okay? Yes, sir! But there are too many monsters these days. Too many, agreed. What's happening? We're over Baron! Make a landing. Clearly we're not over Baron, we're all the way out here in the ocean. There's Baron. Okay, now we make a landing. Here we are at the castle. Another fantastic track begins. Really, the soundtrack is something else. Oh, Cecil, is it the crystal of water? But Massidians were so helpless. Don't change the subject. What are you trying to say? This way, Cecil. This man Baigan leads us to the king. Again, I'm still not controlling anything. No other game has done this where you just watch something happen for, what, 10 minutes now? Leads us in this door, through this hallway. Please wait here. Your Majesty, I'm afraid Cecil has developed quite a rebellious air. Truly. Well done, Baigan. We must do something. Call him in. Yes, Your Majesty. Cecil, His Majesty summons you. Please come in. In we come. We thank you for successfully completing the mission. Now, where is it? Yeah, my liege. Real crystal. Good. Cecil, you may leave now. Your Majesty? What? What is it? We do not understand the meaning of taking crystals away from honest people. Are you disobeying me? No, I'm not. We do know of your discontent, Cecil. If you cannot trust me, I can no longer place the Red Wings in your command. You are dismissed from your post. Your Majesty! Go and hunt the summoned monsters of the Misty Valley, and take this package to the village Mist. You may depart tomorrow morning. Your Majesty! Cecil didn't... If you're concerned about Cecil that much, go with him, Kane. Your Majesty! Now, leave with the package. We received a package. Your Majesty! And we're shoved out along with this Kane fellow. Sorry, Kane. Don't worry. He'll put you back in command of the Red Wings after this mission. But, never mind. Go back to your room and take a rest. Walk in all directions using the control pad, and talk to everyone you meet using the A button. You must be careful not to miss what they say. An unexpected person may give you information. And off Kane goes. And we're in control now. Still with this music playing, which is quite the powerful track. It really gives you that feeling of mistrust that is formed among the Red Wings and the divide between Cecil and the King. So much has already been established. We're a guy named Cecil. You can see if we hit the top button, or 2, we can see we're a Dark Knight, which was one of the classes in Final Fantasy III, even though it was called Mystic Knight there, but don't worry about it. And yeah, all we do is go around and talk to people like a standard Final Fantasy. Treasure your life. If the King hears people talk about him like this, he'll be angry. So, talk about a crazy step for a Final Fantasy game. The first and third game were essentially just, here's some heroes, there's some orbs, save the world, I guess. The second game, while it had terrible gameplay, it was at least interesting in that it was incredibly depressing at every corner, but it was still pretty shallow. But here, we're the commander of this air fleet of Baron called the Red Wings, or at least we were, but the King just dismissed us from our post. Purely because we were questioning our orders that, well, all of our men seem to be questioning as well. Cecil is in an interesting position, but we have our buddy Kane at least. How's it going, Kane? What's wrong? Sorry, Kane. Oh, stop that. I mastered the Dark Sword as commanded by His Majesty, but it was to defend and not to rob. Don't blame yourself. His Majesty must have his own reason. Everyone here just wants to give the King the benefit of the doubt. Everyone just wants to hope that things will turn out alright. I have faith in His Majesty. You see, here are the Red Wings. These are our friends. I feel something strange about the King lately. It's just this unrest in the air. And it's haunting. It's so impressive that a Super Nintendo game pulled this off. Heard you brought back the Crystal of Water from Mysidia. That's right, we did steal a crystal from Mysidia. Take the treasure in this room. The switch is on the wall there. You know, we might as well grab some treasure while we're here. Cure 1, a tent. And some gold, or GP. I'm just gonna explore a little bit more of the castle. Oh, we have the White Mage area. Rosa became White Wizard to be of help. Be nice to her. Okay, Rosa. We'll keep that name in mind. The King has become very energetic lately, but something is strange. Everyone around the entire city of Baron is observing the situation. It feels like a real town, unlike all the other towns in Final Fantasy, which just kind of were, here's a bit of dialogue about stuff that's going on, it's not really important, but probably as much as the base town in Final Fantasy II, this feels like a real place that's lived in, where people are reacting to things that are going on. Did you see our boss Sid anywhere? Well, we haven't seen a Sid yet. Hey there. Off limits. Okay, very blunt, I see.
Cecil!
We're stopped in our tracks by Rosa here, who we heard about.
You're not hurt? I was so anxious.
We're not hurt. How could we be? The wizards didn't even raise their hands. Cecil still feels bad about what happened, what he and his men had to do.
Cecil! Can I see you later?
Yeah, later. And the fact that she actually stops and looks back at us, like it's characters in this feel more real than any Final Fantasy before. But granted, it hasn't aged perfectly, I'll admit. And we'll get to areas where the story and the characters kind of don't shine through as well. Don't worry. I don't think this is a perfect game. It has its flaws, the story has its flaws, the character has its flaws, and we'll cover the good and the bad as we go. The mages who didn't submit are confined here. You can talk to them over the cage. Oh, these are some of the mages from Mysidia.
You're the Dark Knight! Please return the crystal to Mysidia.
You don't understand, the crystal is not just jewelry. Someone hinted at earlier that the crystal has some larger role to play, but what is it exactly, and why did the king want it so badly that he forced us to attack innocent people? And down comes this Sid guy. Hey, Cecil! There he is. I like that interconnectedness of the stairs and the door. How's my airship doing? What's wrong? I was removed from my post. I no longer command the Red Wings, and I no longer pilot your ship. What? Who's gonna command the Red Wings, then? I'm not sure what the king is thinking. He ordered me to make an airship, but I don't want it to be used as a weapon. Well, I gotta go home. I've been working all night and my daughter is worried about me. And off Sid goes. Back home, I guess. Let's head into this tower. This one isn't locked off like the other one is. Hello.
I've changed the sheets. Leaving early tomorrow morning, sir. Good night.
And here we are in our own personal bedroom. We could use some rest after that night. Boy, that clock is ticking alright. What happened to His Majesty? The Crystal of Mysidia. Did we really have to snatch it from the peace-loving people? Never again. Even if ordered.
Cecil! What's wrong? You're not quite yourself lately.
Nothing.
Then please don't look away.
In Mysidia, we had to rob from the innocent people.
Oh dear.
I'm just a Dark Knight with no courage to disobey His Majesty.
The real Cecil I know would never whimper like this. You're going to miss tomorrow, right? If anything should happen to you...
Don't worry. Kane is coming too. It's late. Go back to your room.
Take care.
Oh man, this theme. Of all the tracks in this game, this is my favorite. This is the theme of love, or Rosa's theme. And I did say love because, yeah, Rosa and Cecil are already boyfriend-girlfriend. It's already established relationship. None of that hero trying to win the girl's heart by saving her. No, no, no. This is already an established world that's falling apart before our eyes. And this theme of love shows you how their love is somewhat prevailing, but it's struggling. Thanks, Rosa. Still, I am just a Dark Knight. Really, this piece of music, it does more for me than most video game music does, period. Even Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Super Nintendo, which has, as I've said before, one of my favorite soundtracks in gaming. But, on the next morning, we meet face to face with Kane, the Dragoon.
Let's go, Cecil. Outside the castle is the city of Baron. Let's gather information and equipment in the city.
Oh boy, and now we have a theme that's just building us up. The door is opened. And out we go. And we have the classic Final Fantasy theme from the original scene on the drawbridge where the 4 Heroes of Light went after it was constructed for them. Things look darker now, but boy, this is just nostalgia overload. Thus, the Dark Knight Cecil was expelled from his command as a captain of the Red Wings, and he and the Dragoon Kane left Baron for the village Mist in a valley enclosed in deep fog. Oh my god, those instruments, they're so good! Airships had been a dream of many people. After the realization of that dream came greed and ambition. Yeah, the person who constructed our ship, Sid, was talking about how he didn't really want it to become a weapon, but it is now. Through its fleet of airships, Baron became the most powerful nation. But
Why is Baron seeking the crystals? Why do the monsters keep increasing?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that detail. We fought some monsters on that ship.
The crystal was shedding its light silently.
And we're brought into the overworld. We have a new overworld theme. We can move around. As Kane said, we should go into the town first to buy some supplies that we could use. This is the training room for you warriors. We teach you how to advance your adventure. You'd better listen to your instructions or you may not go far. I don't need instructions. It's a Final Fantasy game. We know how this works. And if we go ahead and look at our equipment on both Kane and Cecil, we already have a full set of armor on both characters, as a matter of fact. Neither characters are able to use any magic, unfortunately. But hey, the town of Baron is a neat bit of extra world to expand things a little bit. Hi there.
Oh, the Dark Knight, want to see something?
I like how much that old lady in the corner looked like she was jamming to it.
Why are you wearing such dark armor? Are you a bad guy?
Well, I mean, it's like Mystic Knight. Dark magic isn't bad per se, right? We're a good guy. We started the game out and we robbed the innocent town of mages of their crystal. We're a good guy. Welcome, Mr. Dark Knight. Money? No, I can't charge you. We're really renowned in this town, aren't we? Well, as renowned as we may be, we do have an assignment to do. We need to deliver that package to Mist and apparently deal with some monsters or something? The village of Mist we can access through a cave, which is over this way. There are enemy encounters in this overworld here, so at any step of the way we could be forced into a battle like this. And as you'll see, the battles work a bit differently. Say, for example, I just stand here and don't do anything with Cecil. I'm just gonna sit here and wait and... The enemy attacked me. The battles technically are no longer turn-based, they're actually active time battles. As you could see, after we took our moves, it took a solid second there before I could take another one. And it wasn't in a perfect order either. The enemies can attack us at any moment, there's all sorts of stuff that can happen. Basically the way it works now is that every character, us, the monsters, have a little invisible gauge that fills up, and when it fills up all the way, that's when we can go. It's like a timer of sorts. I kinda wish we could see that gauge, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but in pretty much every other active time battle Final Fantasy from this point on, you can see the gauge, but here you just gotta kinda wing it. It's luckily not much of a problem. This is probably the easiest Final Fantasy game so far, but I'll get into that. We do have the Mystic Cave here, which also has a fantastic music track. This track is just really atmospheric, I love the feel of it. I did have one time when I was in a retro game store, this track was playing funny enough. One other thing besides using items or fighting we can do, Kane here, being a Dragoon, can jump up high into the air. We know how that works, Dragoons were in Final Fantasy III, but if perchance you didn't watch that series, well, yeah, you just avoid attacks for a short bit, and then you come down and do even extra damage on the enemy. Jumping has kind of an aerial effect and is specifically good against certain foes, like flying ones. Oh, we found a cure off of these guys, very nice. Just a healing item we could use at any point. One other nice thing about the... Ooh. Go back. Who is it? Well, we don't know, I guess. But one thing that's nice about the jump system with Kane as a Dragoon is that it does take into account, like, the active time battle system. So Kane is gonna jump up, the enemies can move here, no turns are going by or anything, and that way Kane can better avoid them. That didn't work as well in our favor, but that's okay. I think the Dragoon works a lot better with the active time battle system, which is why I think it's neat that he's one of our first party members, and what can I say, I like Dragoons. Kane, you're alright in my book. Cecil doesn't really have anything neat going for him, although that's because I'm playing the American version of the game. This is the first game released in America since the original game, and the original game didn't do nearly as well in the States as it did in Japan. Japan figured, well, I guess Americans are just too stupid to play RPGs. Maybe if we dump things down by removing some character abilities. So Cecil here normally would have the Mystic Knight abilities. The Mystic Knight abilities being sacrificing your own HP to do big attacks, like a wave beam that shoots through enemies. That ability is removed. One other thing that also dumps things down for us Americans is the heal items. In previous Final Fantasy games, there were specific items to heal all sorts of status ailments. One to cure you of stone, one to cure you of poison. This heals all of them. universally throughout the rest of the game. So that's real good. Pretty much every status effect is nullified now. There's one more treasure in this cave. What is it? A tent, alright. Those work as they always have in the series. Just a save point that heals you up. We have no... Oh no, we have another chest here. Another Cure 1, wow. You're generous with those items. Leave now. Is it a monster? One's from Baron. Who are you? Return now and I will not harm you. Show up! Do you still wish to go on? They actually give us a choice. I guess, yeah. We must deliver this package to the village of Mist. Then I must. The mist is gathering. And we're facing a boss, a mist dragon. And boy, this theme is real good. This boss theme here is intense, it's fast, it's dynamic, the instruments are just piling on to one another. And, well, it's a pretty simple fight here. I mean, the only thing we can really do besides use items is hit it, or hit it harder with the jump ability. This boss does have an aspect that kind of introduces how the active time battle works, in case you haven't caught on to it yet. The boss here is going to turn into mist. And essentially, while it is mist, you can see, we can't do anything to it. It'll attack us back with this cold mist every time we try to. Do not fight now, a random voice says. Fighting when mist will freeze you with breath. That's an interesting way of putting things, but yeah, we just have to wait it out. We have to be patient. Battles work in a more interesting way now, especially boss fights. They really change things up. Now, get ready to fight. Alright, Kane, you might as well jump up. And they've reformed. Did 26 damage there. Kane jumps up. Lands back down 62. Very nice. 32 more damage from Cecil. Ooh! Kane is below 100 HP. I don't like that. We should be close to finishing it off, though. Kane's going up for one last jump. 44 more damage. That'll do. Nicely done, Kane. 200 GP, 350 XP. No level for Kane or Cecil, but that's okay. We defeated the Mist Dragon, and we can continue on. Oh, we got an encounter. You know what? I might as well show off how to run away. Just hit both the bumpers on the Super Nintendo button, and you can run away just like that. You do drop some gold in the process, but you avoid most all the battles. And we get plenty of gold anyway.